In the quiet corners of a small German farm in 1922, a horrifying series of events unfolded. This is the tale of the Hinterkaifeck murders, a chilling story that has haunted true crime enthusiasts for over a century. On this remote Bavarian homestead, the Gruber family, consisting of 6 individuals spanning 3 generations, met a gruesome end. The victims included the patriarch and matriarch of the family, their widowed daughter, and her 3 children, the youngest of whom was merely 2 years old. Their lives were abruptly ended, and the method of their demise was as shocking as it was brutal. In the days leading up to this horrifying event, strange occurrences put the family on edge. The patriarch, Andreas Gruber, found a set of mysterious footprints in the snow leading from the forest to their home, but none leading back. Unidentified noises emanated from the attic, and a set of keys went missing. Despite these unsettling signs, no one thought to flee or seek help. Then came the chilling discovery. Days after the last known signs of life, neighbors found the family and their maid brutally murdered. The scene was a heart-wrenching tableau of a family's last moments, frozen in time. The bodies were found in such a way that suggested they had been lured individually into the barn before meeting their end. Yet, what makes this tale even more eerie is what the murderer didn't do. No money or valuables were taken from the house. The animals and the homestead were cared for in the days following the murders. The motive wasn't robbery, but something far more sinister and inexplicable. Despite exhaustive investigations and numerous suspects over the years, the case has remained unsolved. The identity and the motives of the killer or killers have been lost to time, leaving us with more questions than answers. To this day, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain an unsolved mystery, leaving us with an eerie sense of unease. This tale is a grim reminder that sometimes the most chilling stories are the ones without an ending. Fast forward to 1948, on an Australian beach, a man's body is discovered, setting the stage for one of the most perplexing mysteries of the 20th century. In the waning days of November, an unidentified man was found lifeless, reclining against a seawall on Somerton Beach near Adelaide, South Australia. The man, appearing to be in his 40s, was dressed in a suit with polished shoes, an odd sight for a beach setting. The mystery began to deepen as the coroner's report stated that the man's death was not natural, but the cause remained undetermined. Even more puzzling was the complete absence of any identifying documents on the man. His pockets were empty, and all labels had been meticulously removed from his clothing. The only clue was a scrap of paper, hidden in a concealed pocket of his trousers, bearing the words, Tamam Shud. This phrase, translating to ended or finished in Persian, led investigators down a rabbit hole of cryptic clues and dead ends. The scrap of paper was traced back to a copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a collection of Persian poetry. Inside the book, detectives found a strange, nonsensical sequence of letters, which appeared to be a code. Despite the best efforts of cryptographers and code breakers, the code has never been deciphered, adding yet another layer to this enigma. As the years passed, speculation abounded. Was the man a spy, a scorned lover, or simply a stranger who met an unfortunate end? Theories swirled, but concrete answers remained elusive. The Tamam Shud case, as it came to be known, has tantalized and baffled investigators, historians, and amateur sleuths alike for over 7 decades. Despite extensive investigation, the identity of the man and the cause of his death remain unknown. The Tamam Shud case continues to be a haunting reminder of the mysteries that can hide in plain sight, the stories that go untold, and the enigmas that, despite our best efforts, remain unsolved. The man from Somerton Beach, whoever he was, took his secrets to the grave. His story, it seems, truly was Tamam Shud and ended. In the 1970s and 80s, a shadowy figure terrorized California, leaving a trail of unsolved murders in his wake. This is the chilling case of the original Night Stalker, an unidentified serial killer who, with a brutal lack of conscience, committed a series of horrific crimes. A figure of the night, his reign of terror included at least a dozen murders, 50 sexual assaults, and over 100 burglaries. His modus operandi was as systematic as it was terrifying. He would often break into the homes of his victims before they returned, learning the layout, disabling lights, and unlocking windows. When the victims were home and asleep, he would strike, often surprising them with a flashlight and a chillingly calm voice. The original Night Stalker had an uncanny ability to elude capture. Despite the extensive efforts of law enforcement, he remained a phantom, a specter that haunted the dreams of the Golden State. As the number of victims grew, so did the fear within the communities he targeted. The knowledge that a predator lurked in the shadows, waiting to strike, was enough to send a shiver down the spine of even the bravest soul. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of this case were the phone calls. The Night Stalker would often call his victims, either before or after his heinous acts. His voice, distorted and menacing, would echo down the line, a haunting reminder of the nightmare that had, or was about to, unfold. Despite the sheer number of crimes and the terror he instilled, the original Night Stalker was never caught. Over the years, his identity became one of the most enduring mysteries in the annals of American crime. Theories abound. Suspects have been questioned, but the true face of this monstrous figure remains hidden in the shadows. The original Night Stalker was never caught, and his identity remains a mystery. A chilling reminder that sometimes the monsters are not just in our stories, but lurking in the darkness of reality. In 2004, a young woman vanished without a trace, leaving behind a car, a bottle of alcohol, and a multitude of questions. This is the tale of Maura Murray, a 21-year-old nursing student from Massachusetts. Maura was a bright, athletic, and ambitious young woman, but on February 9, 2004, she mysteriously disappeared, leaving only a trail of puzzling clues. Maura had told her professors and work supervisor that she was taking a week off due to a death in the family, a claim which was later found to be untrue. She packed up her car, withdrew most of her money from an ATM, and purchased a significant amount of alcohol. Her destination was the White Mountains of New Hampshire, a place she had visited often with her father during her childhood. On her journey, Maura crashed her car into a snowbank on Route 112 in Haverhill, New Hampshire. A passerby stopped to assist her, but she waved him off, insisting she had already called for roadside assistance. Yet when the police arrived at the scene just 10 minutes later, she was gone. Her car was locked. Her belongings were inside, but there was no sign of Maura. The following days saw an extensive search, with police dogs, helicopters, and hundreds of volunteers scouring the area. But no solid leads were found. Her credit cards haven't been used since, and her cell phone remained silent. Some believe Maura had planned her disappearance, citing her misleading email and her large alcohol purchase. Others suggest she may have become disoriented due to the crash and succumbed to the harsh winter elements. Yet these theories provide little comfort to those who knew and loved her. As we delve further into this mystery, we are left with more questions than answers. Why did she lie about a family emergency? Why did she drive to New Hampshire? What happened to Maura Murray after her car crash? Maura's disappearance continues to baffle investigators, and her whereabouts remain unknown. The enigma of Maura Murray's disappearance is a chilling reminder of how quickly a life can seemingly vanish into thin air. In the cold winter of 1959, 9 experienced hikers ventured into the Ural Mountains, never to return. A journey that began as an adventure ended in a haunting mystery known as the Dyatlov Pass incident. Their destination? The Otorten Mountain in Russia, a 10-day hike in the bitter cold, led by Igor Dyatlov, a seasoned explorer. But the team never made it. Instead, a search party found their bodies scattered around their campsite weeks later, under circumstances so unusual they would baffle investigators for decades. The hiker's tent was found slashed open from the inside as if they had fled in a panic. Outside, their footprints were etched in the snow, leading away from the campsite. But the strangest part, most of them were barefoot or in their socks, hardly dressed for the sub-zero temperatures. Their bodies, when found, presented an even more disturbing sight. Some were found mere meters from the camp, frozen solid. Others were found in a nearby ravine, their bodies bearing strange injuries. One had a fractured skull, 2 had major chest fractures, and 1 woman was missing her tongue. But these injuries were not consistent with a struggle or an attack. The force required to cause such damage was comparable to a car crash. Yet, there was no evidence of an external impact. It was as if these injuries had been caused by an intense pressure. And then, there was the radiation. Tests conducted on their clothes revealed high levels of radioactive contamination. But where did it come from? There were no nuclear facilities nearby, and none of the hikers had any known contact with radioactive materials. Over the years, theories have abounded, from secret military tests to alien encounters. Yet, none have been able to conclusively explain the events of that fateful night. Despite numerous theories, the true cause of the hikers' deaths remains a chilling mystery. As we delve deeper into the world of unsolved murders, the Dyatlov Pass incident serves as a sobering reminder of the many mysteries that still lurk in the shadows of our world. From the quiet farm in Germany to the snowy peaks of the Ural Mountains, these unsolved mysteries continue to haunt us. We began with the unsettling tale of the Hinterkaifeck murders, a gruesome incident that left 6 people dead under inexplicable circumstances. The haunting silence that surrounds this case, the lack of any concrete evidence or suspects, and the eerie occurrences leading up to the murders, all contribute to the chilling allure of this unresolved mystery. Then, we delved into the enigma of the Tamam Shud case, a tale that's baffled detectives and amateur sleuths alike. An unidentified man, a cryptic note, and a mysterious book, all wrapped up in a case that has remained unsolved for over 70 years. The more we uncover, the deeper the mystery seems to become. Following that, we revisited the chilling case of the original Night Stalker, a serial predator whose reign of terror left a community in fear. Despite the vast amount of evidence left behind, his identity remains concealed, hidden behind a mask of darkness and terror. Next, we explored the enigmatic disappearance of Maura, a case that has sparked numerous theories but no definitive answers. Her sudden decision to leave, the puzzling items found in her car, and the lack of any trace of her whereabouts continue to fuel speculation and intrigue. And finally, we journeyed to the snowy peaks of the Ural Mountains, where the haunting mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident unfolded. 9 experienced hikers, an inexplicable panic, and a series of bizarre and unexplained injuries, all set against the backdrop of a desolate, icy wilderness. In the end, these stories serve as a chilling reminder of the unknown, the unseen, and the unresolved. Until next time, keep questioning, keep wondering, and above all, stay safe.